everybody's got obviously a Derby dream or something like that. So, but those are hard to come by, obviously. Of
course they are, and they come from all over, though.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, look at the horse that won the Rebel.
Right.
Cold front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great story right there. So anybody can, break into the top level. What I found, it's more persistence. It's patience and persistence and doing it over and over again. You gotta keep at it.
Yeah.
You can't just okay, one shot I'm going to take and that's it,
Welcome to Leading the Way. Here we are at the March 2-year-old and training sale at Ocala Breeder Sales Company, the leading and #1 in the world 2-year-old sales company. Today's podcast is going to be kind of fun. We have a pair.
Hang on, everybody.
We have a pair of trainers that are married. Can you imagine this on there? So meet John Terranova and Tonya Terranova. They're with us today. So we'll start this podcast off pretty good, pretty fun. I see Tanya's already blushing. She's ready to go on that.
Not my forte in front of the camera.
She needs a horse in front of her.
I know. Much better.
Well, Tonya and John train lots of horses between New York and Florida and any other state they need to go to and have been, or any other country for that matter. We know about Canada, so that goes too. And then they take time out to have to pick horses, buy horses, new clients, existing clients, all kinds, fillies, mares, stallions.
Much everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tell us how tough it is to have
rookies.
to have to go to work every morning and take care of the horses there, and then have to take care of your clients and take care of buying horses for them, and probably have to do a lot of other things.
2 kids.
2 kids.
Two dogs.
Fuel in the car.
Well, I guess I'd start by saying the horses come first.
Yeah.
Over everything.
We know that feeling.
So we all do that.
Wait. Let me clarify this.
The girls come
The
first.
girls come first.
Oh, absolutely. Family first. Then, the girls and the dogs. Yeah, they're the one. But
I was going to clarify that.
As far as work goes, then the horses first, and then if we don't got them, then and everything's not jiving with them, and everything's not good, and they're not healthy, then what are you going to do? You got to keep moving forward. And then that's what keeps the clients happy and the owners happy. Obviously, that's the goal, getting the best out of everything we get in the barn.
Well, how many horses do you train?
Right now, we're a little light. We're probably got 30 in training right now. We're usually around 40, 45 maybe.
That's a nice number.
At the full.
That's comfortable.
Once the young horses come in and
we like to
whatnot.
see them every day.
Yeah.
One of us.
I know you do.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of us.
A woman's
there.
touch is really important in a barn, isn't it, John? I mean, you're going to have to say yes.
Well, yes and no. I mean, she's Tanya's exceptional. Yeah, she's an amazing horsewoman, and we've been together a long time. So I knew that right away, way back then. She's taught me, amazing amount of knowledge about everything. Especially when it comes to the physical horse and everything like that, legs, this and that. She'll jump in the stalls and groom a lot of days. You never know. She'll just take over, and even if you see one pointed going a different direction, she'll shuffle them up with different grooms, this and that, move them around sometimes, if one's not fitting with one person, but she's not afraid to jump in and get her hands dirty.
Well, I actually think that's the best part of a woman's touch is that they can read things in advance. I mean, this is not a fun part of a podcast. This is the truth part of the podcast.
No, but I'm in there more. John's more front and center with the owners, and I enjoy being with the horses and the guys, and we have a great relationship between me and the boys, and we all work together, and they step up for me, and I step up for them, and I think it just makes our barn run really smooth. I was running, vet route today on a filly that runs down, and because I do it a special way, and so here I am on my knees running vet route, but I enjoy that part of it, and I love the horses.
I held her while you did that, though.
Yeah, you did. She was being a bit of a pain.
That's teamwork right there.
So.
Well, it is important not to stir each other's pots, too.
Yeah.
Give each other the lead way to do your thing, and you do your thing. what you do best.
And Dean and I have similar as well. He's more of the front, and I'm more with the horses and the guys.
Yeah. He is. He takes care of all the help, and
But I think you have to have both.
Yes.
You know, you can't have the same two people doing the same job.
Yeah, good balance.
Yeah, that balance is out.
And he
I
tells
think
me
that's why it's worked so well for so long. You know,
it is.
We've
We
been
have a
doing it so long.
35-year partnership, and you
Yep.
guys have a.
We're
How long you guys married?
1999, so
Really?
I figured that's going on 26 years. But we've been together since 91, so we
Really?
were 21. We were kids when we
Y'all
got
were
together.
babies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
So-
well, he came to Breeders' Cup at Churchill, and Brian Mayberry and Baffert both liked him, so I guess he was a keeper
Oh,
because they never liked anybody.
Both dads.
Yeah.
Both dads said, "Okay, he's approved."
Yeah,
was
so
it,
he
yeah.
was approved and was allowed to hang with the guys. So not many were.
I know of a lot of your success in your race horses, but you know, here we are on camera, and there's a lot of people that don't know even anything about racing. I mean, we have a lot of people here that know you guys, and they're gonna enjoy watching this also. But let's talk about some of the success that you've had, and you know, since we're at the 2-year-old training sale, let's talk about some of the success that you have picking the horse, going right from the step one through college, so to speak, on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the 2-year-old sales, you know, I mean, different sales we're able to buy for different clients. Obviously, some of these select sales, you know, they're going to be a little bit pricier. So certain guys are going to get outrun, you know, trying to get their horses here. And other guys, you know, we've got guys that, you know, just want some New York breds. Some guys just want fillies. Some guys just want colts.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got obviously a Derby dream or something like that. So, but those are hard to come by, obviously. Those
Well, of
you
course
need
they
some-
are, and they come from all over, though.
Absolutely,
They-
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, look at the horse that won the Rebel, the Colt,
Right.
Full front.
Colt front. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great story right there.
Yeah.
You know, so anybody can, you know, break into the top level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just got to keep it. What I found, it's more persistence. It's patience and persistence and doing it over and over again. You know, you gotta keep at it.
Yeah.
You can't just like, okay, one shot I'm going to take and that's it. You know.
And I've seen you bought horses at a yearling sale and took them all the way through the graded stakes ranks, and
I really enjoy doing the sales. I love the yearling sales and the 2-year-old sales, and work really hard at what we like and what we
Right.
think our owners will be happy with, and you know, send them to the right people to break them, then get them started, and then come in. And we're very fortunate. We have some amazing clients that, you know, are willing to take
Trust
the
you.
time and
trust your
Yeah.
opinions and trust your judgment on.
pretty much everything. I mean, even if it's giving one away because they're not fast enough,
Right.
you know, and it makes our life a lot easier to have them being so loyal.
Well, they need to be honest. If they didn't trust you, they're in the wrong place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to trust you through that. So the hot seat is, if you would release this, what's the secret to buy a yearling and get all the way? I know of one that
I know
was
a
pretty
secret.
special.
Just pick Midnight Stroll.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one I was special.
Yeah, well, I bought her here. As a matter of fact, I bought one for $1,000, and then I bought her for $225. And he was a success too. He's
He's still running. We have him.
$270,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's our house horse. The girls named him.
Did they have to partner on him?
Well, he paid for a lot of college. I must say. Every time that tuition was due, it was like he would step up and run huge. So
We were going to pinhook him, but he couldn't get into the early sale. So it was the June sale. But by that time, he was showing a little bit of
Ready to
run. He's a
run.
nice New York bred. So we're like, let's just keep him ourselves. And he's earning just shy of 300 right now. He's
Really?
just turned 6
Yeah,
or
well,
5.
I don't know.
5.
Yeah, April
Yeah.
Mayberry called and she said, "You might want to keep him. He just outworked one of these $1 million colts."
Really?
Yeah. She's like, "So we might want to just hold on to him."
Awesome.
So that's what takes us to the next point, is you can find a horse at any level. It can be $1 million horse to be the greatest, like Flightline. Let's just say April. You have to say April. She had Flightline. And a $1,000 horse that makes $300,000. So this sport allows
Everybody.
people at every level.
Yeah, it does.
That's fun,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to be able to do that. Well, and it's like an NFL player can come from. We had one from Williston, don't we?
Yeah.
From Williston, Florida this year that played in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Now,
right.
don't
I
be-
saw that. They had a big parade. and
Right.
Don't be
stuff.
knocking Willis.
Yeah, no, but we've been pretty lucky and on horses that didn't cost a lot. We bought one off of the Mayberries, funny guy, and he was a really good New York bred. What did we get for him?
Yeah, for about 45, I think. And I think he earned about 600, didn't he?
More than that.
More than that, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
it gives
won a bunch of
everyone
stakes with
a
him. That
chance.
was fun. Yeah.
I bet that was
So-
a happy customer.
Oh
yeah.
very happy. Yeah.
But-
He won the Albany, and then we were going out the gate at Saratoga, and they were like, "Where are you all going?" We're like, "Paulina's going to college.
Yeah.
We're out of here."
You know, and then on the flip side, there's been expensive horses that just haven't panned out. You know, it's
It's the way it
That
goes,
happens
it's
too.
hit or miss at times, and everybody experiences it. I think throughout the industry, and you know, but that persistency, you just got to keep at it. Don't get down, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just
That's
kinda
perfect for you.
Keep it going.
You
yeah.
like the even, keep everybody happy kind of guy. Even though you're Italian, I just can't believe that.
Gotta find it
Everyone
hard to
loves
believe.
him. They all love him, and it's like I'm the bad one.
I think
Like,
mean
"Why?"
wife is.
I know.
I think the horses feel it being around them and us
Yeah.
being in the barn all the time. I think the horses can
The
feel the
vibe.
stress.
For
yeah.
sure.
And you got to keep that away.
There-
You
there's
just got-
no two
matter
ways about that.
And it's a fight some days. Some days you can't help it. Some days, you know, things go bad. This one gets hurt, or something happens, or something didn't work right, or just didn't look right that week that's going to run. You know, but you got to force yourself to
Do
just
the
keep
right
it.
thing.
Take it out of the barn.
Well, we
Yeah.
can't control everything.
Take it away
Yeah.
from the horses.
You know,
because
but-
they'll feel us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're feeling.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, for sure.
I know
Yeah.
that for sure, that they do. You know, they can feel every vibe you have. They can feel when you're happy, and that's why I always think, you know, I'd love to see a horse win first time out, because all of a sudden he becomes the big horse, and he gets an extra carrot, or he does this, or he does that. You know, the people just groom on him a little bit more. He's the big horse in the
yeah.
barn, and so placing horses is a tough game, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Way to put it.
You know what? More so nowadays too, because I think there's, you know, obviously the foal crops are down. There's less horses. There's
Yeah.
less types of races that will fill. You're either forced sometimes a little too high, a little too low. The in betweens, you know, a little hard, especially if you paid a little bit for one, but he's just not, you know, showing that kind of ability. There really isn't, you know, as many, unless you're traveling or you got divisions here, there, and everywhere.
Right.
You know, which. We race in New York, which is, you know, obviously a top division.
Tough.
You know, so we're
Tough.
looking for horses like that.
Tough
you know,
company.
yeah, absolutely. Even the New York breds. I mean, to get a good New York bred now, I mean,
They're justified.
those are
in their,
unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
But even
So-
at Tampa, we're running against the top in the country
Of
too.
course it is.
Well,
yeah.
It's,
yeah.
Everyone's going. there.
Everybody
should
loves to
do
run
their
at
best.
Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fantastic racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And so it's-
safe. Very safe racetrack.
Great place to go for the winter
Yeah.
and get out of the winter cold and
And the horses
bitter.
thrive down there. They really do well. But you know, everyone ships up there to run. Like
Right.
every race is full.
I can see, yeah.
It's getting
It's
more
like
so.
running at Saratoga.
And it's all the
pretty
big
much like
trainers
that.
too.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Tampa trainers. It's
Every year, that
Every
more and
trainer.
more are coming that way, you know, and pointing, you know, get started or just get a race in over the wintertime, or, you know, even the stakes as we saw yesterday was a big day at Tampa. That was a good card the whole day throughout. So,
well, I see. You know, Chad Brown will have some in there, and Todd
Bill
Fletcher will
Maher.
have
every
some,
week,
and-
every week,
all of them.
every
Yeah.
week
Yeah.
they're coming up and
I think-
running, and some of their nice ones,
I
real
think
quality horses.
11 bands came in yesterday with
Really?
horses. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, so then it may probably make your job even harder to pick the right horse, because your competition in the East Coast is really tough.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, we you know, we know what we got to go run against.
Yeah.
So, you know, bringing home just any
a
horse,
horse.
even though, hey, we may love him, but he's not going to fit here, or she's not going to fit here. We need something that potentially can get to that next level, you know, to stay competitive on
Yeah.
our circuit.
Yeah.
So that's even, you know, that becomes a little more challenging, especially, you know, we're not big with numbers, you know, maybe we run more of like a boutique type of stable,
Right.
trying to get the
Yeah.
quality.
And,
We don't
and
have the
not
numbers
quantity.
to keep going. Yeah,
Yeah.
to keep replacing. Like, it's like we can have one awesome meet, and then it's going to be a little bit of a lull, you know, to the next one. But you know, that's another part of the game that's changed. There's a lot of guys with big numbers of horses, you know, and that's what's kind of ruling the game these days, which is great. You know, it's fine, but you know, we know it's tougher on us because we know what we got to go run against. And there's going to be more of them.
Right.
Every week, every month, every meet.
But as long as you know that, then you know what to buy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, so here we are at this sale, and it's an open sale, and there's horses that will go at every level here, and but a lot of great horses come out of 2-year-old sales.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, it's crazy. We just actually got some information that this is Ocala Breeder Sales Company's 50th anniversary. 50 years being
Selling
a
2-year-olds.
2-year-old sales company. Well, I mean, it's yearlings also, but the majority of their horses are 2-year-old sales, and that's what they based it on, having the racetrack here and so forth on that. But it's 50 years, and they did. We talked with someone and told us that there's probably every bit of 50 top horses champions. That's a lot of.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine having a champion
Mm-hmm.
every year?
That's,
Yeah. I mean, that's not just saying grade
Yeah.
1 winners and,
No, yeah.
and things. We're talking about, horses of the Eclipse horses of the year, so forth like that, come out of here. So it's a really good place to shop.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I mean, I think, that attributes to a lot of you guys and a lot of the consigners. They're great horsemen. They know what they're picking
Right.
as yearlings. That goes back to you guys picking those type of horses, know what it takes to get here and what's going to attract guys and that kind of athlete that you want to sell. So I think,
just like
trusting
when you
that.
walked into the back ring and bought Tyba out from under us.
Yes, we did. And look at that.
I wasn't there.
Well, you just had to walk up there at that minute.
But that's it. I think a lot of the consigners are great horsemen and horsewomen, and they know what to pick and what to bring here.
Well, I told
That's quality.
told a lady today, how do you have so many graded stakes winners? And I said, well, you know how to make a great apple pie? She said, how? Start with great apples.
Yeah.
That's how you do it,
Exactly
right?
it. Yeah.
Puts
That's
it, all in a nutshell. But so tell us a little more about maybe your day-to-day stuff that you actually go through. Tell me about the process. I mean, like, again, we're talking to some people that don't know anything about this, so they look at you and go, oh, horse trainer. What does a horse trainer do on that? Wake up in the morning and have a cup of coffee, but there's so
That's
much.
usually first.
Yeah. There's so much more involved in it. So kind of give them a little bit of a quick talk about your day-to-day stuff, and truth of the matter is how stressful it is too.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure. I mean,
The worries.
like all of us. I mean, we're dealing with athletes here. They're training. They're going through rigorous training, racing, whatnot. Different times is a little more intense than others throughout the seasons for each one. But on a typical day, yeah, we'll go in. We kind of have a set plan, and we know what horses are intended to do. We'll check things, make sure everybody's good. We've got a lot of guys that have been working for us for many, many years, so we kind of trust them. The grooms are real sharp, this and that. They need us to look at anything special.
That's a key.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Tanya's always in the stalls, throughout the barn, first thing, making sure everybody's good. There's no temperatures. There's nobody's sick that day. Everybody's ready to train, ready to go on with their routine as the morning goes on.
So you're a coach. You're coaching.
That's exactly it.
Coaching.
Yeah.
Managing, coaching.
And we're going through, like you say, practice drills in the morning.
Yeah.
They're basically it. We're going out. Some horses are going out for a jog. Some horses are getting the day off from training, not working out every day, just like any of us. But some horses are going through speed drills, breezing, different distances depending on where they're at in their training or where they're at in their racings or what races coming up. Little gate schooling, once they're even the older horses that have run, we're schooling in the gate a lot. We like to do that a lot too. So
And trying
that's
to keep
part of
them
it.
bubble wrapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well,
Good luck on that.
and then there's some horses that need a little bit more attention, a little bit more work, a little more therapeutic work, things like that. And some horses are, they're fine on their own. They're good, they're solid. And the good horses we found, they'll just do it on their own. They're like those star athletes. They know what they're doing. They're going out there. We just try and keep them healthy and sound and stay out of their way.
Yeah.
Feed them well.
John, where did you start? Where did you learn?
My dad owned some racehorses growing up, so this is a long time ago when I was a teenager. So I was always around it. Weekends at Belmont, summers at Saratoga.
Oh, really?
Walking hots, grooming a little bit, doing that, learning from some of the old time grooms and stuff like that in the barn. And I did that as a teenager in summers and the weekends and stuff like that. Loved it. Couldn't get enough of it. went on to college, and you know, kind of came out of school, and I was kind of lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I went back to the racetrack and worked for my dad's old trainer, Dominic Imperio.
Oh,
years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
Believe it or not,
and,
we're old enough to know that too.
Oh yeah. Lenny Imperio, his brother, had some horses for him as well. He was training for Buckram Oak at the time as a private trainer, and Alan Jerkins had horses for my dad as well. So I was around a lot of those old school guys, you know, back in the day. So I just watched and everything like that. And then just took a couple of horses on my own. I had just met Tonya in '91 after the summer at Saratoga, and we went out a little bit, and then she invited me to Breeders' Cup, and this is going back to the story she told earlier about meeting Brian and Bob and everything back then.
So remember, this audience doesn't know Bob.
Bob Baffert, there we go. He's,
and Brian Mayberry.
Brian Mayberry,
Brian.
we lost him many years ago, but April's and Summer Mayberry's
followed in his footsteps.
We immediately, he kind of took me under his wing a little bit. I went out to California right after '92 with a couple of horses, but I was really more just had a couple of horses on my own, still learning, watching everybody. All the top
what were
trainers
you, 10
were
years
out there.
old? I mean,
21. So, but Brian took me to all the sales, took me out to the dinners with the owners and stuff like that, did all that, and he took me everywhere. He had a house full of girls with Summer and April and Tonya around there. And he's like, it's like, but no, we were close. I love Brian, and we just, he showed me a lot, and I just watched. I watched and listened.
Yeah, you were a sponge.
And that was it. You know?
Well, they were great mentors.
Great horseman. He was a great horseman. When he used to come to the barn, everybody would be like, "Oh, he's coming to our barn."
Yeah,
you know, because he was like the Shake Mo of the buyers back then. He would buy all the best horses.
And Brian and Jeannie, they were the king and queen of the 2-year-olds out there.
You need a name when Jeannie's pick.
Yes.
So, Tonya, what's your story?
Well, when I grew up in California, and I wanted to be
California
a jockey.
girl.
Yes, but at about 10 years old, I think I was already way too tall to be a jockey. But I happened to meet Summer Mayberry at the races one day. My mom was a mutual clerk, and Summer and I hit it off immediately. I think we were 14 or 15, and went to school and tried some college and the track. I've always grew up riding horses and having them. And Brian said, "Go to Pomona, pick one horse, and we're going to teach you from the ground up."
Really?
Yep. And I picked out the most expensive one they bought. It was a Valid Appeal colt named Sitting Appeal, and he put me with one of his old grooms. And, I mean, he worked my butt off. Like, Brian, there was never
You can say yes on here. This is a podcast. We could do that here. We can do anything we want, actually.
So I just kept working, and, you know, Brian and Jeannie just really showed me everything, and like I was an exceptional groom. Had many Grade 1 winners for them, and
really,
yeah.
Wow, that was pretty cool, huh?
And the one I picked won first time out too. So I was super fortunate, and I started traveling for Brian. I think I was 19 or 20 to Saratoga with all the best horses, and at that time, even Bobby Frankel sent me a couple. He trusted me to watch over his horses there, and then my connection with Bob Baffert, we're really close.
And you had NXS when I met you.
Oh yeah, I had
she was
NXS
taking care of NXS that entire year. When he was back
going
east,
for Horse of the Year.
That was one of the most beautiful horses I've ever seen.
Man,
to this day, I'd never seen a
Yeah.
horse like that until I saw NXS.
And it comes through in the breeding too.
She brought me in the stall. Let me go in the stall with him because that's when we were first dating, and I was blown away. That was something else.
But I didn't. I mean, he always wondered where I was because I was never out or anything. Because if I wasn't at that barn at 4 a.m. and there was no lights in Saratoga, and we had to like put these lights up, Brian would have killed me. So, but I've always, the horses just, I love them, and people don't realize how intelligent they are, and like they know their names.
Right. For sure.
You'll call one and they'll be like, here I am. But we've been very fortunate, not only that we've had some really good horses, but we've been around all of Bob's horses, come to our barn in New York, and both Triple Crown winners were in our barn. And
Cavanier was the first one he sent east after we left California and went back to New York. 96 Belmont Stakes. Yeah, that was the first one.
But my connection with the Mayberry family has just been unreal. And
That's
you know,
family.
G-
Now it's your
yeah.
it's your family. Yeah, those are
Jeannie
your
was like my
sisters.
second mom, and Brian was my second dad, and April and Summer and I are all super close, and we kind of went up, and we had when Summer and I had kids, we kind of go apart for a little while, but when we're together, we're just the same.
Same old
Same
thing.
as it
That's
was
what
when
makes
you were
friends.
14.
Yeah, when we went down to a place in Safety Harbor, and they started playing Hotel California, and I'm like, Summer, and I videoed. I said, "You remember going down the 210 blasting Hotel California?"
Well, wait a minute. You just told me you were always in the barn.
Well, we drove to the track and to the races. We did go out a little bit. We didn't tell Brian. We did go
I had to
out.
sneak out.
We
But
did.
Bob probably knew.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's kind of, and then we met, and we moved back to New York in '93, and we started our own little barn, and I was the groom and the hot walker and everything, and he was still going out and having fun. And one night didn't even come home, and then after and phone.
Well, he was having a lot of fun.
With Del Beckner, yeah.
Oh, damn.
That was
Yeah.
before cell phones. Yeah,
Payphones.
you had the big Motorola's.
Yeah.
Those big flip phones. And
They
no
didn't
charger.
come to the barn. Like, I was so furious. And when Dale's like coming out, I'm like, yeah, you
better
go.
go.
Better go.
If I wake up at 3:34 and you're not home, you're in big trouble.
Well, that's an,
I remember that night. It was
Start.
with Dale and Mike Luzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So, but we had just started off with a couple horses, and then Mike Lake Howell recommended us to Team Valor, and Barry Irwin gave us a big shot with a couple nice horses.
Yeah, that was our first stakes
Yeah.
winner. Won the Aqueduct Handicap.
Who was that?
Star of Valor.
Star of
Star-
I
Valor.
remember that horse.
Yeah.
Phone
Yeah.
trick colt.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and Silky Sweep we got for him,
Yeah.
a nice end sweep.
Yeah,
And,
but
and
back
then
in
we
those days, I remember those. And sweeps. And
Mm-hmm.
we had plenty of those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then we got really lucky. We had River Keen for Bob, and the Gatsis noticed
Yeah.
us being young, and they interviewed us and gave us a bunch of horses. Their trainers
They were moving
retiring.
they were moving their stable
And
down from New England to New
got
York.
our great horse Gander. He was just such a special boy, and took us places that we hadn't gone, and he was a really amazing. Earned almost $2 million back in the day, but when the money wasn't what it is today.
Wow.
Yeah, big white horse.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Cormorant. But so
60 starts. He ran till he was 8 years old.
Really?
yeah,
Sound. So
Yeah.
you kept them sound.
Yeah.
yep.
Happy.
Yeah.
Won the Meadowlands Cup right after 9/11.
Yeah, that was a big big
Big
lift.
lift.
after
It
all
is,
that.
yeah.
Pretty blessed to have that start though with those kind of guys that where you can learn from.
Send you
And-
Triple Crown winners to keep in your barn.
Yeah, I should get a plaque
Yeah,
for that
exactly.
stall. But,
Really.
It's a,
Yeah.
And I know
it
that
really
you
says
took
a
her
lot, though.
Silver
It says a
Charm
lot.
as well.
Yeah.
yeah, well, April had Silver
Yeah.
Charm. I went to Kentucky, and we had one of our horses in the barn when he ran, but he was neat and real quiet. Came and stayed with us, and
Yep.
but
Yeah. There've been many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quite a few of them. But it's
Over
a
the
nice
years.
connection.
And they
to
still
have.
do.
And
Yeah,
they still do.
do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of your ways you've adopted have come from the greats.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On that's I mean,
And
you know,
there's
Watch
one
what
thing-
works. Watch. You know,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah,
Watch the success,
their wheel
you
is
know?
already turning.
and see what they do. Learn,
Yeah.
take from them. Learn from those guys. You know?
Yeah. We kind of did the same thing in our business, and when we wanted to learn what does a great horse look like, I think Wayne Lucas thought we were stalkers. Wherever
He
we,
has a beautiful horse.
Yeah.
we just went wherever he had horses in, and we'd look at those horses, and we'd look at those
We'd be in
horses.
the paddock at Saratoga looking at
Yeah.
His horses, and
all them horses. And
then after we go for a while, and we actually had a podcast with Wayne, and we told him that, and he laughed, and he said, "I remember you guys in the background for a lot of years." He goes,
I've known Wayne since I was a kid too, from California. And when we shipped certain places, like Huron had his barn at Monmouth, Wayne would let us come in for Brian. And
Yeah.
Wayne's a tremendous horseman.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
It's just been
and his
amazing.
barn is like
yeah.
not one
I like to
piece of
keep a
straw.
clean barn, but it's like that
His
shed
is
row
even-
is, yeah.
Yes.
Talked to him
He's
this
still
morning,
riding
actually.
the pony.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still tell my grooms I want it like Wayne Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do the same thing.
You know,
But it don't
so-
quite work out the same.
No. We try and get as close as we can,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
they rake his office
Oh.
and stuff every time he leaves the barn.
Yeah.
With a set,
yeah,
raked when he comes back.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
He wants things a certain
Well,
way.
perfection.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what we're all looking
Yeah.
for. We got to cross every T. We got to dot every I, right? To get these horses to the point of their best ability.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the key.
You carry those habits
Yeah.
and they carry into the stall,
Right.
and then out
Yeah.
onto the track.
Right,
Hopefully.
exactly.
You
And
know, that's what
sometimes
we're
it
all
takes a
looking
little longer. You know, sometimes horses just need a little time. Like the filly Wayne won with yesterday. You know, she's 2 for 2 now, but he had to wait on her a little while to make it
Yeah.
happen because he knew if he got her right that she
Yeah.
was going to do what she's doing
Yeah.
now. But if he would have pushed the envelope, she might not be here.
We'd
running
never know.
today.
Yeah.
But
They
that's
make you
one
wait.
thing,
Yeah.
like Brian, Bob, everyone, that there was, if I would call and say this or that, like it'd be like, okay, just
Stop.
stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never like, oh, we got to make another race, or, and you know, that's always,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a key
Yeah,
takeaway from a lot of the
early
big guys.
on.
No one, you know,
Mm-hmm.
And a
when,
little
when to
extra
have
time
that extra patience.
always helps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Never fails.
no.
Like
no.
Bob would always say, well, let's give it 90 days, but let's go ahead and just give it 4 months. If 3 months
Yeah.
is good, let's give it 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
he's-
I call him. I'll be like, okay, I'm missing this one because Mark, and okay. He's like, all right, just tell him when it's ready.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see if it goes to New York or California.
Mhm.
But-
Well, they are athletes, like you said, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And so we got to take care of them like they're athletes.
Mhm.
So these are the top players in the nation, basically, you know, all throughout the nation, and they're the top at their level.
they're like,
Mm.
So you know, if the horse is a Grade 1 winner, or if he's a Grade 3 winner, or just a stakes winner, or even below that, as long as they run at their top
Mhm.
level,
Oh,
Mhm.
is what we want. The most out of them. So you got to do everything the same way.
Yep.
You got
Yes.
to treat the Grade 1 winner like
Same
you
as
do
all-
the $25,000 horse
every
claim.
horse in
Yeah.
our barn is treated the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you're
They're
just
fed
trying to
the
get
same way.
They're all champions, yeah.
They,
Yeah.
getting to show their best ability.
Yeah.
You know, at any level,
Yeah.
whatever,
And-
whatever they.
I think a lot of people don't know, like say our viewers or some of them, you know, are listening and watching this and don't really realize that these are athletes. These are living athletes. These are not machines, and they've got to be taken care of like the champions, like Randy just said. You know, treat them like a champion, become a champion
Yes. Yeah.
on that. So that's
Yeah. It takes a whole team.
we would probably need 3 weeks of a podcast to really know what goes on every day. I mean, there's so much
yeah.
involved.
Oh,
And it's
Yeah.
something different, and like I said, we're learning every day. You see something
Yeah.
new every now and again. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, more often than not. I mean, with horses.
John, I think
You're
you learn
never
to
done
the day
learning.
you're under the ground.
Oh yeah,
You know, that's for sure.
yeah.
And they teach us
Mm-hmm.
because we need to listen to them,
Yes.
and they talk to you in
Well,
a
that-
different way.
Oh,
not
absolutely,
not
yeah.
in English
That's-
language, but
That's why I love to be in the barn. Like, as far as going up to watch a
Habits.
gallop,
Mhm.
he's up
Yeah.
there. I know when one's sulking in the back of the stall.
Right. You can
or,
see
Right.
it's
you know,
immediately
one-
you
And
know
that kind of
something's
thing.
Yeah,
different.
or all of a sudden they're not eating. And
baby,
they
a
eat
bellyache
every day.
today, or
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we take care of
And
them.
we're adjusting too. You know, with training and stuff. It's not just like one size fits all. We're doing everything. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you want to get the best out of them, but they've got to agree to do it.
Yeah,
Agree what you're asking them
Exactly,
to do.
right.
So they've got to feel it and they've got to want it, and
yeah. We
you
call
know.
that heart or will.
yeah. So
It's really will.
One type of program might not work for one horse, and it might work for another. You know, or
Or
you
even
know.
some
So you're-
area.
It's a constant
Yeah.
adjustment.
Yeah, Tampa or New York. And, you know, they may
Yeah.
like that weather better, or the
Yeah.
humidity, or
Mhm.
things like that, that they react a little different to.
There's a horse for course sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
You know, certain tracks, certain you know, elements, but
but let's admit that's the fun of it.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much fun. No, but you
It's-
truly have to love it.
You
You
do.
have to love it.
No,
Yeah.
it's a big. It's
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
on
exactly
top
it.
of
It's not a
it.
job. It's a
It's
lifestyle.
a lifestyle. Yeah,
And make time for our girls on top of
Yeah.
it, and like
Ooh, yeah.
make sure they're happy, and
yeah.
yeah, the
Well-
puppies.
Yeah.
We still have our first pony. Garcia turned 29 this year.
Really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
in Belmont. He's the
Loves his
racetrack
job.
pony.
Really?
Beautiful paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
29, and he's still working.
He's amazing.
Not heavy. He's more of an ornament now, but
But he walks out
she said I'm
and-
gonna get back on him this summer.
I don't get in the
But no, we-
cold. No.
No.
but we still, he's pretty amazing. That
So do you keep a stable all winter in New York as well?
yes, we keep our horses in New York. Yeah, and Garcia is one of the reasons at 29 we're not going to move him around. He's so accustomed to his life there. Like
he stays with the group in New York. Yeah, he likes it up there, so we don't travel with him that much. He'll come to Saratoga, but Belmont is pretty much home for him, and he likes it. We've had him since he was 4 years old. So
now you're training horses in Tampa. You're on the phone every day in Belmont, keeping those horses there. Then you transfer horses back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we got a great crew in New York. They've been with us. Gosh, I don't know how long.
Maybe 15 years,
time.
10, 15 years.
And
the guys that are
Claire
there right
that's
now.
overseeing it, she's married to Simon Harris, who started galloping for us when we moved to New York in '93.
Really?
So
And still is. Yeah.
Well, he's taking a winter break.
He's like Garcia
for the first time
He's
ever.
like Garcia.
Well, he's a valet in the room, and he has Pratt and Dylan Davis, so I think he can kind of take a winter break from galloping horses.
He's doing real well right now. So.
Well, he must do it because he loves it.
Oh no, he loves the horses, and Claire does too. She's great, and then we have Felix and Victor that have both been with us forever. So,
well, here's another question I'll throw at you on that. So, have you picked out horses here yet?
at this sale.
Yeah.
Oh.
I
No,
just got here.
we had
We were
horses.
up a few days ago. We got our eyes on some. We've been watching a lot, but
We haven't had a chance to go out and look at them yet. We had horses running yesterday,
zeroed
horses
in on
breezing
yet.
today.
Right.
So we'll hit the
y'all-
ground running tomorrow.
Yep.
But I want to look at some of the yearlings that we had liked that are in the sale.
Yeah,
So
right.
Yeah.
go.
See where you're-
They had breezed well, so see how they
Yeah.
progressed.
I
And
mean, ones that you got outbid on.
yes, as a matter of fact.
I know. We know that feeling. Trust me. We're
Not as
better
well as we
underbidders than
do.
we are anything else.
No, I think you guys don't get outbid quite as much as we do.
and it's the first sale of a few. So coming up. So even at these patients, they'll come to you.
Yeah.
You
You'll get them.
So you have some scouts that help you
Mhm.
while you're gone to give you good information on it. You have some tools that you use. I know of one you use. TBX.Horse.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
Well, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Well, information
No, we
is
got-
everything we need, right? We need
Yeah.
as much information as we can get to make a good, smart decision on, explaining to a client that this is the horse that we'd like to have. This is the one we want to take the shot on. We feel like this horse could be the big horse
Yep.
there, and that's another big challenge of it. That's another really fun part of it. Yeah. So you got to put your butt on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Your head on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
Whose head gets chopped first? Yours, because you deal with the clients.
Well, just it all depends. But they know our guys. They
don't
know the
chop.
game.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
They know.
yeah,
They know
just
what
the way
it
it
takes.
is.
And like I said, you just stay consistent and do the right thing by these horses and the right thing every day with everything that we do. And like with TBX, doing their homework, things like that. So
yeah.
and like everybody's doing here with all any type of way they analyze breed shows, physicals, watching these horses mentally and stuff like that, how they're handling things and
And we
what
also,
kind of separates them out. Everybody's got their own tastes, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
and their own
Yeah.
style, and certain types of things they're looking for. But
Then you all sneak around and never
Oh.
show your cards. Because we're consigners. We're like, do you like any? Do you like any?
but I think we also have to put trust in like you guys and certain consigners that we have a rapport with in a sense that
Like Midnight Stroll. You bought her off of one of your friends
Lisa
that
McGreevy.
had her, and you seen her, and I remember you saying, "I'm buying this filly."
Yeah.
like I said, there's a lot of great horsemen and horsewomen back
Yeah.
here that have picked out really nice yearlings to bring them here. And, we'll look towards some of those athletes and see, because these guys knew what they were looking at, and you guys know what you're looking at.
And we know, you know what you have, because when Midnight Stroll was going to go for sale and Tonya had called me, I jumped right on it, did I not?
Yes, you did.
I never even
Yeah.
had to see her.
Yeah.
Did I? Didn't even ask.
She's black.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
Yeah. Things like,
but-
okay, we'll take it.
Well, I knew, I mean, it's just like you said, you got a little insulted I didn't come by your barn. I said, because we had a horse there. But
Yeah.
We don't need to. We're really comfortable. We're really fine too. We'll see you at dinner, or we'll see you somewhere else.
Hopefully in the winner's circle.
Yeah, we're in the winner's circle
Yeah.
because there's a level of trust that you have to have in your team.
Yeah, just like the Philly
absolutely.
Italian soiree last year off of you guys, and I mean she won first time out and was second in the grade 2 or grade
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
grade 2.
Up at Saratoga, yeah.
And she's
Thank
a
you,
nice
guys.
Philly. Yeah, so we rely a lot on people like you guys to trust what your opinions on the horses are.
Well, the horse industry, as many people may not really realize, it's a big family.
Yes.
It's a really big family, and we all communicate together really well. And and of course, some people have their team and the people that they trust, and so others have different teams and other people that they trust.
But there's different horses for everybody, and at the end of the day, it's going to be the horse's desire. If
Yes.
they're going to have it in them to want to do it. I mean, we can't force them to run any faster or, have that competitiveness to
Well, I'll
them.
ask 2 more questions, one to each one of you.
Oh God.
All right,
What about Randy?
I already know how he picks a horse. I already know 35 years partners. When you look at one, besides, you already saw the ability because you watched the Breeze show, you watched all the numbers, the clocking, and so forth, and of course, the pedigree. Now, when you go to look at the horse, what is your secret weapon that hits your gut? Is it in the walk? Is it in the look?
I think
is
it's
it in
the
the
presence.
eye?
It's just
Presence.
I think it's
on
the
that.
presence. Yeah, we've already done our physical look, what we like physically about
Right.
them, what we like them on, how they went on the track and how they breathe, things like that. But that overall feeling you get when you look
Yeah.
when one walks right up to you, or you
How about
walk
you?
right up to one.
No, it's the same. Even when I bought Thrill of It for the $1,000, I mean, I bought him over off of Colin, and but he had just the way about him, like he just. And he was
Demeanor.
so smart
Yeah.
and just like, okay. And he came out each time. And I vetted him. I thought he was going to bring a lot more money than that.
It was more for the vet than it was for the horse and the van ride.
Yeah. And I like to kind of go back and watch them a little bit too, kind of to see how they act in the stall. And
That's a big part of it. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
We do too.
they have a nice eye.
Yeah.
So I like to see a real smart horse.
Yeah.
Because most of all the good ones that we've ever been around, there's a presence about them, and I don't even think it's just because they became good, but you look at them and
Yeah, it was naturally there
Yeah.
at some point.
We always go to the barn at night
yeah,
It comes out.
and the horses that we're interested in just to see how they're doing. I always try
Yeah.
to stroll through the barn and just.
even the van companies I've caught them because I'm like, she's going on a van straight to New York, right? And then I see him put her on the gooseneck to go to the yard. Oh no, she went. I said, really? I watched her just walk under the gooseneck.
Standing at the loading dock.
So I always kind
John,
of
you
try to
cannot
look
come
everywhere.
home late. I can tell you that.
Oh, that's not me anymore. It's the
No,
girls.
no.
Like, where are you?
Yeah.
She's asleep.
Now we're gonna wait for them.
She sleeps with one eye open.
No, we got the puppies. And
Well,
Yeah, they let us know.
That's fun. Well,
yeah, and our instant alarm clocks because at 4 a.m. they're ready to eat.
yeah, well, that's what they used to. They got to get up when you get up, right? They got to listen to what you do.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
that's fun. So your whole family, including the dogs, live your lifestyle.
The girls love to come up to Saratoga, and they'll drive out to Belmont just to play with the horses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Aqueduct they don't really go to, but they love the horses
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
spoil
Well,
them.
they're horse women too,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and riders
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
athletes, and
Yeah.
so isn't it hard not to love them?
I know. That's
I mean, it's
sometimes when one gets
They're
claimed,
amazing.
they're like, no, you that
I'm gonna get that one back.
Yeah.
That's
That's the only hard part about them coming out. They get attached.
That's
and
the
then
business,
they're like, No.
Yeah.
Well, we need to adopt that one too, and I want this one. I'm like, well, we don't have a farm.
I think I can jump that one.
Oh, she has like a few on her radar right now. Yes.
We have some retirees at the farm too. I mean, we love them, and we have about 8 or 9 of them there.
Some in their 30s.
Some in their 30s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In their high,
Yeah.
I mean, 34, kind of
Yeah.
35-year-olds there.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
every time I see that feed bill, I just think, is it not time? But we just kind of feed them to the rest of their lives and
Yeah.
just give them a good home. We had a great mare that produced California Derby winner for us and so forth, and she's out there, and we're just going to take care of her for the rest of life. She took care of us.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's so great in racing now, though, that we have so many, like a rerun new vocations. It gives us a chance to let the horses have a second career, and it's become a really big thing with the thoroughbreds in the show world. Because of all of them.
Yeah. We'll kind of wrap this one up, but I really enjoyed having you guys, and I hope I didn't put you on too much of a hot seat on that.
No, this is great. Thank you guys.
But you know,
thank you, and thank you guys for training the filly for us and having horses for us. We really appreciate it.
No, we're the grateful ones.
Hopefully, we're gonna have a Triple Crown winner in your barn one day.
Well, yeah, we are very appreciative to all your care and everything you do, you know, for any parts of any horses that we may have in our stable that's already in your stable. On that, that's for sure, because it means a lot to us, because we like to do the same thing, you know, with our horses. So we're gonna wrap up our podcast right now. So if you like what you see here with Leading the Way, you can subscribe to YouTube channel, or you can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, or however that may work. Follow us on Facebook or like us on Instagram. But if you do...
Randy, are you on Instagram?
No.
I told you he's a TikTok guy. But you can find us on Leading the Way, John and Tonya Terranova. They are a team all the way through and through, from marriage to business to work, children. It's pretty fantastic. I think you guys are blessed, to be honest.
Yeah. No, we are. We're very grateful. Very grateful for everything.
But come see us.